protest happening right here beside me. As you see, they have gathered here outside of Federal Plaza in the wake of this enforcement action that was happening on Canal Street, just a few blocks away from me earlier this afternoon. And you can see now the NYPD has sort of sealed off this area. This is the entrance to Federal Plaza where some of those detainees were taken earlier this afternoon. We actually got a heads up early today around 2 o'clock that ICE was going to be on Canal Street. And once that happened, we came down here and witnessed several people of African descent being taken into custody. What happened from there really turned into chaos and mayhem, something it seems that ICE did not bargain for as people surrounded those agents who had their faces covered and they had ballistic vests on. They ultimately were forced to retreat here to Federal Plaza, and then the spontaneous protest is what emerged in the aftermath. You can see from the video several people taken into custody, a lot of protest, and people who were just passing by on the street joined in to try and stop ICE. It really gives the temperature of how New Yorkers are feeling about ICE enforcement action, as many people just stopped in their tracks. People were going to school, people were coming home from work, or just commuting and stopped to scream at these ICE agents, pulled out their phones, started recording and telling them to leave. So what ultimately did happen is they retreated here to Federal Plaza just a few blocks away, and several people got into some scuffles with ICE officers. They were also then detained and arrested and brought into Federal Plaza. We spoke with the executive director of the New York City Immigration Coalition. He was there on Canal Street, and this is what he told us he witnessed.
Have you ever seen 50 to 100 federal agents mobbing a street and beating up people on the street? Because that's exactly what just happened. Targeting street vendors who are simply trying to make a living in our city and arresting them today. As ordinary New Yorkers see other New Yorkers being hurt and vilified by these individuals. Of course, anyone who sees someone being wrongfully targeted is going to take some form of action. And to see military vehicles driving down the streets of New York City, we don't need boots on the ground.